carry.
There's still a chance that it also opens up the Valentina as a better option too.
True.
Always in the arsenal of Claw Kun. I mean, you have the Crimson Beacon, which is arguably one of the best spells to steal in the game right now. And it's not hard to steal it because Drusin needs to show herself to have an impact.
Last ban from RRQ.
This is gonna be tough. I think you ban Valentina.
Payback.
They go for the Farsa. Huh.
Admittedly, RRQ doesn't really have good ultimates for Valentina right now, so they're probably a little bit less worried about that possibility. They want to pre-move early game first. They don't want to let the Vamos snowball as heavily as they did before.
I think Crimson Beacon is the best choice right now. They could blow their cover, their flex cover, and leave Claw Kun for last, or they could just pick Claw Kun's hero now and keep RRQ guessing. I think keeping RRQ guessing is probably the better choice.
I agree. You already know your mid lane opponent as well, so why not leave your final pick to get the full view of everything?
Imagine they use Cecilia here. There's also another Claw Kun classic.
I think it's unlikely.
Choose my own path.
That's Arlott. Wow, okay, so they keep Claw Kun's hero for last.
Guess that explains the Phobius ban as well. But it would have been nice to see this. Actually, no, there might be a reason for this. They are limiting Dyron.
They are.
Sora and Arlott have been the main heroes this guy has played. Phobius too, all of which have been taken away.
So now it's only Yuzong and Lapu Lapu when they aren't that good.
Against Arlott.
Yeah. Yuzong is not too bad. Oh, that's based off of what Diablo did. But in the grand scheme of things, not really. I mean, both of them.
I think Yuzong is still one of the better options, but that's just because basically everything else is gone. Vamos has been very smart with this. Looks like RQ is keeping it safe with the Lapu, but they will repeat the Harley.
So we did say that if Harley were to come out, it would be the 4th pick. Indeed is so. I mean, we know it's a Guinevere jungle, and now it's Claw Kun's hero. Someone that, there's no Farsa left already. The Lapu, they can dive. Sidian is like their X Factor.
This
Time to go to the RRQ show.
The Lilia?
Okay.
Oh, they do go for the Lilia. Alright.
not bad. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's definitely not bad in this case. Especially since you already have so many heroes that can keep people in place. Vamos are certainly looking to try and close this out. They have a little less direct burst damage than they did before though. So RRQ shouldn't have to be too worried about getting whacked right out the bat.
The one thing that Vamos has is late game insurance, but also tank busters. Two of them, in fact. They're incredibly good at clearing waves and ripping through tanks. I'm liking what Vamos is bringing to the table. I think the draft definitely favors them on paper, whereas for RRQ TORA, a lot of things have to go right, because if it burns in the first 4 minutes, we might see a repeat of game 1.
RRQ TORA are going to be bringing 2 Purifies this time around to try and handle the Guinevere. Will it be enough? Vamos has surprised us by taking game off of the kingdom. Can they bounce back? Or will this be the way that the foundation falls and the kingdom walls crumble in the land of Dawn?
Vamos is officially the second team that has laid siege to RRQ TORA and able to chip away some of the bricks off the castle walls. AC was the first team to do it, but they failed eventually. And now Vamos has a chance to change that. Falcon is running with the Flicker instead of the Purify, so that is something to take note of this game, which means when they catch Falcon in a crowd control, they can blow him up easily. But the thing is, they don't really have much crowd control to work with.
Exactly. So it does look like the Litho will still fall into the hands of Gary this time around. Dyron at the very least is going to be a lot more comfortable in this particular matchup. As long as he can win that out, then he can start making plays for his team.
The wave clear, so much comfort for Lilia. For Ruff and Nako fighting it out. Look at the emblems. Nako going with Festival of Blood, a lot more sustained, whereas Ruff still goes for the Master Assassin.
Fairly standard across the board, looking at the emblem setups. Arrow 404 with the Temporal Rain though is a little bit more interesting. Mid lane is going to be pretty 50-50. I think both of the mid duos have pretty good poke, pretty good sustain overall. So we shouldn't see any deaths before the first turtle.
Yep. Just in time to take the recall. Back to base to replenish and get the level 4 in lane as well. Especially Lilia, who is a lot more mana hungry compared to the two Sin. Arrow 4-4. Not sure if he was spotted by Super Yoshi, but RRQ TORA have 3 men around this area.
Dyren gonna be given the EXP crab to hit level 4 faster as well. Turtle is up. Gary currently taking control, resets it up. Violet Requiem doesn't land. 2-man Landshaker. Dyren is gonna be the one to pick up first blood this time.
Slightly awkward interaction there. Final slash only onto 1, but against a Lapu early game, it's pretty hard to just go through him without first. But it's something that Vamos have to set up for, but don't have the output this early on. So the turtle surrendered over to RRQ TORA.
Instantly a very different experience coming in from RRQ. Now that they've taken the first objective, they've taken the first kill in the EXP lane as well. They are free to open the map a lot more aggressively.
Yeah, Super Yoshi also gonna try and show up and do some reconnaissance, but is denied by Vamos. Which is the one thing that Vamos needs to keep in mind, because unlike game 1, RRQ TORA have so much early game damage, just based off of their abilities alone. Compared to Vamos, which needs time to ramp up.
Simply even Super Yoshi by himself is gonna apply a lot more pressure compared to before. A nice final slash, pushing Dyren tower, but he is playing it safe. He knows how important it is for him to win this lane.
And unfortunately, he also zones Zeno away from the minion wave, so Zeno is really taking the beating after that first blood.
1k lead, 3 minutes in. Next turtle in 60 seconds. Both teams playing respectfully now after that first exchange.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to lash on the Super Yoshi as well on the glue, because he just moves so much faster than you. It also opens up opportunity for Kim to just walk into the enemy jungle. And Guinevere is one of the few jungle heroes that shows lesser resistance compared to someone like a Suyo or Nolan. Guinevere needs the teams to be around. In this case, Arrow 4-4 won't have that luxury.
Out of all the current meta junglers, I also think that Arrow 4-4 hasn't played Guinevere quite as much. I think his accuracy rate on the spatial migration is a little bit lower than other junglers, so we'll see if he's able to set up this time. But looks like up top, Zeno in trouble once again. Gary comes in to pick up the Arlet.
Destroyed. There was no chance of escaping. He didn't even bother using the flicker because he knew that he was dead the moment the deadly magic and the Landshaker connected. This is gonna set up RRQ TORA for the second turtle of the game. Genius 1 up for Gary at a 2k, almost a 2k goal lead for the Kingdom.
This is exactly the start that RRQ is hoping for this game. Disrupt the EXP, and Team Vamos doesn't have a lot of teamfight setup anymore. They're gonna rotate over to the turtle.
It's gonna be tough. Not with Kim around. Every time he drops the Vamos members on their teammate.
Looking for Z-Keep is trying to engage on Kim, forces out the Crimson Beacon, blazing duet, goes
Whoa!
damage, and Zeno explodes to the deadly magic, but they do finish off the Zeus Raging Sandstorm, connects on Z-Keep, and the Landshaker gets through, but the Violet Requiem
Natko.
not one! Purified though allows them to get out. Gary gonna be melted away. Natko has joined the fight currently, 2 for 2.
Nako was free hitting the whole time. Falcon should survive there. Nako is around, he's a dangerous man.
Arrow 4-4 is alive, Gary is not. Vamos have the advantage for this turtle, but Retri is still on cooldown for another 5 seconds. Looks like they will still be able to push it through though. RRQ cannot contest.
And the only reason that Vamos didn't win that fight harder was because Super Yoshi soaked out most of the damage with the quicksand guard. Because if Nako was free hitting anyone else, they would have instantly been shredded. So that's the saving grace for RRQ TORA, but good news for Vamos. They've shrunk that goal disadvantage from the early game down to less than 1,000, and Nako cashes in on a kill of his own too.
Yeah, Nako picking up a kill is gonna help heavily. We know that nowadays, gold laners play a pretty crucial role, and both of these players are capable of clutching up the late game. So whoever is able to get that lead is gonna set their team up quite well.
It's not as hopeless as it seems. I was able to definitely reel it back. Obviously, Zeno now plays a very sacrificial role.
Spatial migration misses. Raging Sandstorm used to escape, but the grab connects with him, and Super Yoshi will be pulled to his death.
Fed into the Natco machine again. And Gary was looking for an ambush angle in the top lane by but Zeno was not there at all. They might catch him if he rotates back up, but why do so? Nako was the win condition. He gets the golden stab, second kill of the game, and now he's gonna basically wreck this bottom tier 1. And life for Rough gets rougher.
They're gonna trade opposing tier 1s here, so despite RRQ having a much better lead, Vamos are not far behind. This is a good indication of how prepared this team is.
Yeah, Zeno definitely adjusted his role. He's ready to die for the team. As long as he gets the setup through.
They walk into an ambush, Raging Sandstorm connects on Zeno, Error 4-4 gets pulled backwards, a nice dodge on the spatial migration. Super Yoshi
What?
does actually get melted. He found himself in the iron sights of Nako, and now the grab on top of Kim.
Kim is dead.
Use Purify, Kim pulls him back to his death.
And this is starting to become a problem now. Because Nako is online a lot faster than RRQ TORA would have liked. A 3-0 currently on this carry. And you can see how fast he is shredding through the front lines of RRQ TORA, who is supposed to be the one that hold the fort and give room for Kim and Gary, but that won't be the case anymore. Vamos, they get the lead back in their favor.
We can argue in game 1 that Vamos got the lead and just snowballed through without giving RRQ TORA a chance to fight back. But this game, RRQ were the ones having the advantage, and Vamos is evening it up.
The Nako is playing such a good game. This carry needs to be studied. He has one of the most impressive carry performances out of all the gold laners we have in MPL.
He'll always fall back to his comfort, and it works the moment RRQ drops their guard.
Every time. That's why they're willing to pick it in first phase, even though it felt like it wasn't needed. But for Nako, once it's out, you have to really give him respect.
Makes me wonder if Vamos may have broken the code here. Is the answer to defeating the kingdom preventing Dyron from hitting those playmakers?
He has been the key the entire time. You take away one of the key pillars of the team, or at least you take away his tools. It's harder for Dyron to cook.
Ooh, Flicker final slash forces Purify from Kim. Flicker forward from Zeke. They're keeping the fight going. Grab on the season. He pulls off the clock. Two-man knockout with spatial migration. No fight ever.
They're all dead.
Because Nako, he is trapped. Kill, double kill for the carry. Blazing Duet comes out from Rough. He will be able to BMI back out, but his team is gone.
In the blink of an eye, Zeno with the marvelous setup. And Nako goes to work again, and not to mention that the commitment on this Kim, they want to make sure that Kim cannot be a nuisance in the fight. And RRQ just clumped together on top of Clockwork's Gloomy. It just blew all of them up. Now mid tier 1 goes down. Vamos in prime control of this game. 2.2k gold lead doesn't seem like much, but when you look at Nako with a 5-0 and 2 KDA, it tells you a completely different story. Queen's Wings now for Error 404.
Whatever Vamos had in the last week, I want some of it. Because this is a different team. They're on the Lord. They're scouting every angle. Kim already low. Raging Sandstorm misses. Does Flicker in. Last. 4-4 secures the Lord. But look at the damage. They found a shutdown on Nako. They finish off Error 404. RRQ TORA fighting back with Zeno. Trades for Super Yoshi. Zeke chasing Gary away. Zeno probably going to be sacrificed here. Tries to 1v1. Doesn't have it. Hit away. Wait. Zeno. He's walking away. But Gary will finally finish him off.
And that's a turnaround that RRQ TORA has been looking for. They did lose the Lord, but shutting down Nako was more important than anything. Although I would say good job on Zeke from stopping Gary from having a chance to steal the Lord by rooting him in place. But RRQ TORA finally rose to life for once and equalizing the game. This will be a net negative Lord for Team Vamos, but at least it allows Rough to start having presence.
They definitely needed that one. That could be the breakpoint for RRQ. Dyron jumps in, forces the Black Shoes out from Clockwood. He has to flicker away, but Zeke doesn't look at the damage on Gary. He gets the grab!
He's dead!
The Harley is gone! The fight is continuing. They pick up the glue, forces the flicker out. Here comes Error, not able to land the knockup. They will end their chase there.
The gloom damage is out of this world. You really have to give respect to that and keep track of where those glooms are at. What seemed to supposedly a net negative Lord, turning out having a net positive outcome for Vamos because of that pickup in the top lane. And now they should be able to get at least this orange buff for Nako and subsequently the bottom tier 2 and eliminate all outer tier defenses of RRQ TORA.
If Vamos does win this one, Nako will probably be the MVP, but Zkeef is setting these fights up, dude. These glue pickoffs actually killing people on his own. Man has been doing work.
And it doesn't help RRQ TORA that his targets are Kim and Gary. Whoever he latches on, RRQ TORA cannot focus fire him because they will just kill the teammates in return.
It's a big issue. They need someone else to take the grab, but Zkeef is not biting onto the bait.
Man, this guy's a cursed helm. He has a glowing one. Look at what he's building. Is that a wishing lantern?
He's building more damage.
Is it going wishing lantern next?
Dude's insane. Why
Or is
not?
it concentrated energy? It's wishing lantern, right? It has to.
Could be. We'll have to wait and see. There's a couple things those items could build into. But considering that RRQ already isn't doing enough damage to take him out, why not?
He saw Diablo do it previously and he's like, I'm gonna one-up you and go full damage instead.
Could bite him in the butt if the game lasts long enough.
Ice Queens won. So they have two ice. Ah, okay. There's some durability there.
So Zkeef with the utility magic build and Clockun with the damage magic build.
Yeah, Falco is literally like a freaking helium bomb, a hydrogen bomb now.
There is, in terms of magic defense, only Super Yoshi has it on RRQ with the Radiant.
That explains why Gary blew up so fast. Zkeef.
Well, they're on the Lord. Super Yoshi providing vision. Violet Requiem. Oh,
Ah!
Super Yoshi!
What?
He steals the Lord! And now they're going for the backline. They land the Landshaker on Error 404. Can they get him? No, Winter Crown comes out to keep him alive. Gary's been traded away. Notco! He's dismantling the back. Super Yoshi will be traded away. Team Vamos still 5 men strong. And there's only 2 survivors on RRQ TORA. Despite the steal, Vamos are running it down.
It was 3v5 all along because Zkeef and Zeno kept the main damage dealers of RRQ TORA behind. Rup and Kim could not participate in the fight, so what if there is a Lord? Vamos will be the first one to take an inhibitor regardless.
They should be plenty satisfied with that one. The Lord should be cleared up quite easily. They'll probably lose the bot tier 2 maximum, but Vamos are locked in.
That is unfortunate because imagine if both the damage dealers were able to join the fight, it would be Nako would have 100% been dead. But a 3v5 with Nako free hitting, no chance for RRQ TORA at all. And that negative Lord, this time guaranteed. I guess the silver lining is that Ruff still doing pretty well. He is almost 2k behind, but he is hitting his final item pretty soon.
This is definitely going to become a Ruff versus Notco fight eventually.
Yep.
RRQ TORA definitely not going down without a fight like previous game.
And contrary to game 1, it's not a 10k goalie that determines the outcome of the game, but just a mere range of 2 to 4,000. Now being held by Team Vamos. And a good shutdown to Natco could flip that script around. Even Zkeef, who is, I think, holding on to quite a lot of gold. He has the same network as Arrow, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh,
He has more network than Zeno.
you're right.
His Roma pretty rich, huh? He has more network than Kim and Dyron.
I think Blue needs to be nerfed. Honestly. Clockun as well actually has not died yet this game. Completely.
Yeah.
RQ needs to respect this.
Despite a couple of hard dives, I mean, RQ now has tough decisions to make, right? Who do you full send on to?
Flicker Vital Slash into the Violent Requiem! What? Insane communication!
Oh God! RRQ fans stunned by that execution.
That was beautiful.
That was.
I never
joked
thought I'd
this
see it from Vamos.
My man Zeno, I was wrong about you.
I think we all were. We all owe Zeno an apology.
Yeah, public apology for this guy.
Oh, careful! Just barely survives the deadly magic. Don't know why he walked up so far without his team there.
Hey, look, Festival of Blood, so nice. Zeno attempting to steal that away. Bad XP laner.
Well, here's the next Lord. RRQ TORA, only 2 inhibitors left. Team Vamo still holding on to all of their tier 2s. The net worth difference is only 2k, so anything can still happen.
The long lane is in Team Vamos' favor, so that's good. Whoa, They definitely saw Gary, right?
They did. Gary was trying to bait them.
Nice little recall for Clockwood. He needs his mana back up. Doesn't have to enchant the talisman, which explains why.
This is a tense one. Both teams know how important this is. Vamos have been controlling things, but they know they could still fall away from them if they make a mistake.
Yep. Gary on the Clockwood.
Gary trying to go. Clockun has to use the black shoes very early on.
Oh!
But Keep on top of Gary. That's the jungler. He's not in the fight. Team Vamos wants to steal this. Raging Sandstorm comes out, blazing duet. They're going for Nako. They're trying to melt him down, but they're not able to find Error 4-4. Gets the Lord! And now Vamos turns it around on them. Gary was able to get away from Zkeep, but he's not able to join the fight safely. The rest of RRQ, though, are able to disengage, and they pull Zkeep back. They punish him. That is the unfortunate result of a magic damage build.
Okay, signs of life for RRQ TORA. Lord falls into the hands of Team Vamos, and the fact that Gary was able to get out of that, I honestly thought Zkeep was going to kill him when he lashed onto him. But thankfully that was not the case.
Zeno, you shouldn't be here. Two-man final slash. Flickers out. He'll be okay. Ruff is starting to hurt quite a bit, so they have to respect the Claude.
Okay. This is by no means game over yet for RRQ TORA. There is glimmer of hope. As long as Zeno doesn't get a great setup like he did previously and take out members of RRQ TORA, they can definitely do this. They've reached a critical mass where Zkeep is less of a non-factor as long as they are able to blow him up. So this loss shouldn't do too much unless Vamos wants to push the envelope.
Bit of a hard angle to collapse in from, especially since the Lord is already dying and Zkeep is not here. So Vamos is going to have to accept that this objective doesn't result in anything.
This is the game that we asked for. I mean, the bare minimum is Vamos taking one game off of the Kingdom, but now we are back at the even state, and Kim also has been able to... As long as Kim is alive, RRQ TORA will have a higher chance of winning this out because of this disruption that they have.
That's a big wave down bottom. This should be a free inhibitor. Super Yoshi! Oh, he gets stunned! Nice from Xeno! Do they want to? Yes, they do! Violent Requiem onto the Khalid! They won't be able to kill. No! Final Slash puts him back once again! Quicksand Guard used. He's alive. Error 4-4 goes in. He's so low on HP thanks to the deadly magic, but he is able to jump away, and look at the healing from concentrated energy.
Wow.
The discipline.
That was actually the biggest difference maker there. The concentrated energy to keep him alive. The Queen's Wings as well, triggering. And he has the Winter Crown on top of that if he does need it. Both sides inhibitor gone down. The fourth Lord spawning in under a minute on the top side. And now the gold difference does not matter anymore. It really comes down to the item swaps. But I gotta say, Nako has been playing on the edge a little bit because those deadly magic connections, they hurt. They hurt so much.
But I think it's actually not a bad idea to be a little aggro here. Especially on one of his most comfortable heroes. This is the best opportunity to do it. Because you have to make a difference now. We're 20 minutes in. Game is still pretty even.
Biggest challenge for RRQ TORA right now is having both side lanes go down. And still needing to somehow get into position to fight Team Vamos. Because I feel like that would be the only way back, or the easiest way back. And that includes them risking it all for the biscuit. Whoa.
They see Super Yoshi.
It's dangerous.
Oh, they've been scouted by Kim. RRQ not willing to go for the full commit. They don't see the rest of Vamos yet.
But it does allow them to walk up and get control just for a little bit. Ruff will need to deal with the wave in the top lane. Bottom lane pretty much pushed in. So RRQ TORA able to set up with the rest of the members around this pit.
Even without the Claude here, Vamos cannot start the fight willy-nilly. They know how quickly he can clear and rejoin.
Oh, but they see Gary. They don't.
Lord gonna be reset once again. Who is going to make the first move? They scout Gary.
Yep.
Thanks to Zeke.
Top wave still in the base, but should be cleared up by the minion wave in no time. But now there's a bottom wave. The long lane is now pushing in. And the Lord is max stacked.
Error goes in, forces Purify from Kim. The Lord knock up on Nako, a bit unfortunate, but he is able to dash away. Winter Crown going to be used, misses the Latch Shaker. Error 404 is able to escape, and now the Cloud comes on top of Kim. Nako doing damage, replacing Winter comes in with the Wind of Nature. Ruff going to be able to melt away, but not able to get any kills. And now Zeno, the final slash. Super Yoshi walks away with 1 HP. Winter Crown once again going to be used on Gary. He's going to be the first casualty of the fight. Zeno though. Loses immortality. Ruff is trying to rejoin, but there's too many of them. Vamos are so low right now, but there's just not enough cooldowns left. They pop the conceal, but they know they cannot chase.
Yeah, without Gary around for 40 seconds, this should be a good window.
Siren jumps in once again. Well, look at the melt!
Ah!
Oh my god! The final slash! The Vamos! They done it! They found the angle! All 5 members standing. Only Super Yoshi left to defend.
And a standing ovation from the Vamos camp. Aero 4 celebrates. Unprecedented, but an upset by the villains themselves. No longer the ones that are looked down upon, as they etch their mark on the kingdom walls of RRQ TORA.
The newly undefeated branch of the kingdom has been toppled by maybe the most